Hey everyone, welcome back to Simply Put on Business Insider. This is Sri Ramayya. Come Tuesday on February 1st, we'll be listening to Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman very carefully because experts say there's going to be tax breaks and incentives for you and me.
If we look at what this budget can thus have for the salaried class, I think all of it is basically in line with saying, please take inflation into account when you're choosing some of these deductions. And therefore, what we're really hoping for is if your standard deduction can go from 50,000 to a lakh, if your ATC can move from 1.5 lakhs to maybe 2.5 lakhs, given that number hasn't really changed from 13-14, FY 13-14. If there could be a higher loss from a higher increase in this loss from house property from 2 lakhs to 3 lakhs. And on similar lines of inflation, if the base level for filing taxes was 2.5 lakhs last year, ideally that number should be closer to 2.75 or 3 lakhs this year.
Considering the inflation thing, it's something that people should increase. So I think it's bound to increase. But what I would really love, Sri Raman, is that rather than doing this knee-jerk every 4-5 years, an easier or an optimal way is to link it to inflation index. Whether it's wholesale or consumer, can debate. But I'm saying that it's so much easier and predictable that you're protecting the salaried class with an inflation-related deduction.
Why will the finance minister give us tax breaks this time, you ask? That's because with rising inflation, everything that we use is getting expensive. And with people having to spend money on treating family members with COVID, people have less and less money to spend with every passing day.
The biggest part of our economic consumption is below pre-pandemic level. Consumption is seeing uneven recovery. On one side, we are selling more SUVs than pre-pandemic level, but less entry-level bikes. We are seeing record import of gold, almost all-time high. But at the same time, gold loans are also at all-time high level.
So one way to make people spend more money is to leave us with more money. And the other way is to make things cheaper, from hair oil and detergent makers to those who make two-wheelers and cars, from real estate developers to travel operators. Everyone wants us to come back to the shops and start buying stuff again. But things are not that cool. I mean, people sitting in cushy jobs in big cities and tech companies may not feel the heat as much, but the data is very clear that people in smaller towns and villages aren't feeling as good. Now look at rural wages here. It's definitely not growing as fast as the inflation is. And now look at the corporate profits, those of 33 top companies put together by Motilal Oswal. This is the estimated profit growth for October to December. It's definitely robust. Even the government's tax revenue is showing the rise in profits. So profits are here, but most of it is coming from cost cuts. And there is only so much cost cutting that companies can do. And if things remain unaffordable for far too long, it hurts political parties, and there are 5 state elections coming up very soon. People need to be able to buy things, at least the everyday items. And for that, either those things need to get cheaper, by cutting import duties on, basically lesser tax on things that comes from other countries, or by leaving us with more money through income tax cuts or other such steps. Now the question is, will she or won't she? Simply put, budget is important. It affects our daily lives, whether we know it or not. So keep track of the latest news and updates on Budget Insider. It's a dedicated section that we bring up every year where we tell you the latest on what's happening, what we know for sure is likely to come in the budget, and what else can we expect. And on the 1st of February, stay tuned to Business Insider because we'll be live on every social media platform, and we will be there with, just like the last year, we'll be there with experts, some corporate managements, even government officials, trying to simplify and make the budget easily accessible for one and all. For you, for me, no drama, no jargon, because we believe in business that's simply put. See ya on 1st Feb.